Hello, everybody! This is Darth Zorath, and I'm here to play a game for you that I find really fun to play. Uh, reason being, I started playing this game about a couple months ago, and I've been having nothing but fun playing this game. Uh, I've only played with one character for the most part, and I would use the scythe attachment, which is uh long, which is a long pole blade variant, meaning all greater damage is done towards the end of the blade rather than the uh towards the hilt. This is my first video, so what we're gonna do is it's called God Eater Resurrection. It is based off of a anime called God Eater. One that I recommend to a lot of people just because it was such a great story. The story is somewhat similar to the anime. It has a few changes and it's not completely exact, but it's scary similar because God Eater Resurrection, mind my English, is the resurrection of the anime, which came out in, I believe, 2015 as well. Possibly 2014, I can't quite remember. So, yeah. Anyway, what we're gonna do is we are gonna start a new game. For this, I'm going to be using my alias, Darth Z, for both name and code name. I know I'm boring, but and we're gonna go male, and what we're gonna do, and then we click next, and then it brings us to the character creator screen. I find the detail of these characters to be really well done. They are very well done. So first off, let's start with the hair. I kind of have a feeling of what I already want. There we go. Alrighty then. So this will be the character that I'll be playing with for this playthrough. As you can see here, I had already, this is my, this was technically my first run through. Well, this was my first game, that I tried when I first got this. But then I started doing this one, which I started playing with a bunch of my friends, who you might see in future videos. It kind of depends on what they feel like. So yeah, we're gonna make a new game over this one. And, let's get to the first cutscene.
Well, will you look at that? A rare one.
It's strong, and to the victor go the spoils.
Old man Sakaki's gonna have a fit when he sees this.
I'd like to see some reinforcements out here. If we're all done here, let's call for exfil. I'm starved. Speaking of, what are they serving today?
Admittedly, I wasn't paying a lot of attention at the last supply meeting. Wait, just remembered. Some new engineered corn or something.
You mean that same overgrown corn on the cob fiasco? It's so hard to chew.
Yeah, we're having a bit of a lean year. We should be glad we're getting fed at all.
Hey, Soma, how about a trade, huh? You like corn?
Don't think so. Come on. If we're not back soon, we'll get a lot of nothing.
Very good. Send the data to my personal terminal. Summon them. There's potential, but they must first clear the test. Terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Allow me to bid you welcome. This is humanity's final fortress, the stalwart bastion of Fenrir. In this chamber, we shall test your compatibility to join the anti-origami punitive force, the God Eaters. Please, do try to relax. I assure you, there is nothing at all to fear. When you're ready, place your wrist within the device at the center of the room. Congratulations are in order. You are the very first of our new type God Eaters. Brilliant! You have passed the test, and well. Now that we're certain you're a God Arc match, we must ensure your welfare with a short physical. Please, wait in the lobby just beyond the door. The doctor will see to you shortly. And do let someone know if you feel unwell. I have great hopes.
So yeah, we are the first of the new type God Eaters.
So, want some gum? Oh, wait, yeah, totally out. I kinda just downed the last piece. So, you were a match too? That makes at least two of us. How old are you anyway? Well, I've still got a nanosecond of experience on you. Pleasure to meet you.
Stand.
Huh?
Stand and to attention, now. Excellent. I've got a busy day planned, so we'll keep this quick. My name is Tsubaki Amamiya. I am the senior operator here at the Far East, and I'll be your advisor. Your schedule is as follows. A full medical workup followed by a gamut of physical conditioning. You'll be taught basic combat strategies and tactics, and given a brief overview of God Arcs and armament. Until this moment, God Eaters have put their lives on the line to defend you. Now it's your turn to repay them. If you plan on staying alive, every order will be answered and enacted immediately. Understood? Am I understood?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Better. Now, as to your exams. Let's begin with you, shall we? Orders are to report to Dr. Paylor Sakaki's office at 1500 hours. Until then, you're free to tour the facility as you wish. Welcome to Fenrir's Far East branch, which we affectionately call the Den. This is your home now. These teammates, your family. Godspeed.
So there you go. That is the beginning of your journey. Being yelled at. Yeah, I mean, when you're a soldier, when aren't you the ones being yelled at as the rookies? Even when you're one of the strongest god eaters that they have, you are still yelled at quite a lot. So yeah, here's the game now. Now we are in. I want to apologize in advance for those who don't really like having to wait through long cutscenes like those. This towards the beginning there are a lot of cutscenes that you will need to get through. But once the game goes on, there'll be a lot of in-between parts where it'll just be missions and unfortunately a lot of grinding. But I'll try and keep a lot of the storyline going, and when we need to upgrade and get new items, I'll be doing those off screen, just so that I don't waste all of your time. So yeah, this is the den. We can talk to people around here. This is our main area. This is the area you will always be in when you go to acquire missions from this little lady right here. And yeah, Tsubaki's telling us to go to the medical wing for a checkup. All you have to do is go to the elevator and go and select laboratory. Dr. Sakaki's laboratory is at the far end of the hall. And she's telling us to report back to her when we are done. Understood. Alright, now be on your way. You can use the elevators to travel to 4 different areas, Den being one of them. The only other places are the recruits wing, the recruits barracks, the senior barracks, the laboratory. Oh, I forgot, there is a 5th one, and the executive wing. Let's talk to this little girl over here. Excuse me, do you work here? I seem to have gotten separated from my father. Do you know where my father is? I've never met him, so I don't know. Well, I guess I can ask the operator lady over there. So that's alright. See you. Yeah. There's a lot of nice people around here. This over here is Gen. He is actually a senior God Eater who actually got injured and is unable to fight but can teach. Being a God Eater is tough business. We're despised by some, envied by others. Even so, we're protecting those same people. Yeah, but it's not just that's just an old God Eater rambling. When you're old enough, I'll buy you a drink. See you later. In the cutscene we already met Coda. Coda is supposed to be like your first friend you ever made. And the same best friend that Lenka meets in the anime. Coda is a sniper class God Eater, meaning he is only a gun shooter. You are the only new type God Eater, which means you have both a blade and a gun God Arc, letting you shift from melee fighting to range fighting. You're taking the medical checkup first, right? We should probably say hi to everyone while we have the chance. You know what they say, first impressions are the most lasting. I guess I should read through the database on the terminal, but did you see how much text there is? No way I can read all that. He's hinting to something. There is a lot of stuff in the terminals over here and to the left and right. Over here is a friend you also make. Her name is Lika. She is the engineer who helps take care of all the God Arcs. You're a rookie, aren't you? How do you do? I'm Lika Kusanaka. It's nice to meet you. I'll do my best to keep your God Arc in top shape to make sure you have no trouble in battle. Oh, you have a checkup at Dr. Sakaki's? Just take the elevator down to the laboratory. It's at the back. Hey, when you have some free time, let's go to lunch later. Ooh, lunch, you say? Over here is the shopkeeper. I don't really know what his purpose is in the show. You don't ever see him. So just having a guy sitting here in the den is kind of funny. Well, looks like we got ourselves a rookie. If you want to go toe-to-toe with Aragami, you'll need my wares. I stock everything from healing items to performance enhancers, and all the basic bullets and God Arc parts you'll ever need. Just listen to me. Replenish your supplies right here. I think my prices are pretty damn good. You can buy different things. You can buy different bullets, but I don't see the point in buying bullets unless you want to make your own bullet selections. But for the most part, I don't ever do anything with the bullet. I never really do anything with the bullets. I usually just keep them all the same. So yeah, I don't really. I'll go down to 550. Okay, so I'll sell 10 of them. You'll see the reason in a moment. So if I go over to the terminal, once you look through new things, it'll start giving you hints, letting you know how it works and everything. You can change and upgrade your equipment, craft items, manage your inventory, and save your progress at terminals. So yeah, inventory, you can store items or withdraw them. That was just talking about your stuff. I'm gonna get back those 10. I'm gonna grab 10 of these Restore 2 pills that it gives you 20 of. It's craziness how many they give you. I'm gonna grab a bunch of these stun grenades. And that should be it. But if we go to... also, I need to check my mail. Because we have some mail from a couple people. We have mail from Koda. Let's read what it says. Nice to meet you. By the way, do you know when my medical checkup is? I think Miss Tsubaki told me, but I can't remember. I want to ask her. She seems kind of scary. Yeah, everybody gets that. You can look up your skills. Support skills we'll be getting into later. Status change. These are the different status ailments that you will encounter in the entire game. Most of which I have not had any problem with, except for Venom. Venom is really the only one that I've had problems with, because Venom works against you and your opponent. You can poison your enemy, and also there'll be enemies that can poison you. I have only been having troubles with enemies poisoning me, and having nothing else. So, that's that. Bullets. There's different types of bullets. There's different kinds of shots, different types. Even Aragami bullets. When a God Arc devours an Aragami, it takes the Aragami's abilities and turns it into a bullet. Then they can be fired. These bullets are called Aragami bullets. Aragami bullets' properties depend on both the gun type being used and the Aragami devoured. The different Aragami have their own type of abilities they use that when you use a Devour on them, you gain a Aragami bullet, letting you use those abilities against them. Most of the time they will not be effective because they won't be effective against that type of origami, which I never really got. It kind of made me confused a little bit. You can look at the different origami, see their weaknesses, and the only one we have to worry about right now is the ogre tail. This is what the ogre tail looks like. It's the same little monsters you saw in the beginning of in the very first cutscene, eating that bigger origami. The ogre tail is a small origami with giant spines supporting its ogre-like face. Mainly, it's a scavenger. It eats the corpses of other origami to make it bigger and stronger. They like to fight in packs. They are very not difficult to face. What you have to worry about is their spinning tail attack and when it shoots spikes at you, because those spikes can do a little bit of damage. As you can see, different origami can have different attack elements, meaning they will be unaffected by certain elements. Luckily for us, the ogre tail, the normal one, has no element, but is weak to fire, freeze, and spark. So it's essentially weak to every element except for one, which is the divine, which is super effective against only a few types of origami, which is fine. What I want to look at is, I want to look at the over here in craft. Okay, so back to the reason why I sold some of my healing items. You would think, why would you sell your healing items? You would think you would need a lot of those at the beginning of the game. Well, the fact that you can only carry 20 is still okay, but it's like, you won't really need to worry about it. Oh, sorry. The beginning healing items don't really heal you for that much, and you won't need that much to begin with. But onto what I wanted to do. Here you can use materials obtained through missions to upgrade equipment and craft new items and materials. Upgrading equipment unlocks new skills, allowing you to inherit newer ones. What I want to do is I want to go to craft equipment and go to melee weapon. Here is where we choose what blade we would want to use. As you can see, they give us a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They give us 13 choices. Now what you're going to see is you can only, in the crafting, you can craft all sorts of different blades. Like I was saying though, I was using the scythe attachment, meaning the damage would be done more towards the tip of the weapon rather than back here on the base of the weapon. Then you got your stuff like hammers, you got great weapons. I'm surprised that the Bone Breaker is a Buster Blade type, because it's like, doesn't make really any sense. It's a buster. And then you got your long blades. Blade P is the blade that you have on your weapon at the moment when you start the game. Tail Sword Silver. This is based off of the Ogre Tail. Being that they use the Ogre Tail as the blade itself. And then you got your short blades, which I don't necessarily use. But yeah, if I am correct, if I go back over here to the shopkeeper, and I go to buy equipment, it'll bring us to this again. I want to go to melee weapon. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna need a lot more money. So yeah, you can essentially buy the base weapon of each of these. That will be upgraded a lot towards the beginning. As you can see, there's different stats. There's slashing, there's crushing, and then there's piercing. Piercing, I don't really understand a little bit. Crushing damage. Well, actually, no. Piercing damage goes through, is a stronger way of dealing damage through armor, also known as bindings. Different origami have different bindings that keep them protected from critical hits, or stronger hits. So if you break those those bonds, sorry, I've been saying binds. If you break those bonds, you will be doing a massive amount of damage in those spots. So that's what piercing does. It just lets you deal a little bit more damage through those. Slashing is just essentially your primary damage for bladed weapons. But things like the hammer for crushing, it's super high, meaning it will be able to break those bonds a lot quicker. It might not do a lot of damage, but you're able to break those bonds super easily. So what I think I want to do is I want to build up to, I think, let me know in the comments which weapon type you would like me to use. But I've tried the scythe on my other character, so I don't think I want to do that again unless you guys want me to. But I think I'll be going with either the hammer or the claymore. So you guys tell me in the comments. So yeah. So right now, let's get back to it. I need to go down to the laboratory. As you can see, it loads in fairly quickly. Here's another friend. Cannon is someone I really like in this. She's very shy. Well, not very shy. She's just very unsure of herself and her abilities. Oh, hello there. So you're a rookie. So you're the rookie. They said we'd be getting 2 new kids. You must be on your way to the medical checkup then. It's at the end of the hall in Dr. Sakaki's lab. Doc's a little eccentric, but hey, he's a very kind man. You'll be fine. Oh yeah, she's fairly unsure about herself and her abilities, and is like tries her hardest. So yeah. Like they said, down at the end of the hall, here is Dr. Sakaki's lab. So, let's make our way in.
Didn't expect that. You were here precisely 726 seconds before I anticipated. Interesting. I am Paler Sakaki. Dr. Paler Sakaki, the chief of Aragami Tech and R&D. I'm certain we'll be seeing quite a lot of each other over the coming days. Welcome aboard, new type. As you can see, I'm still a touch busy at the moment. Things to do, screens to watch. Johannes, why don't you do your speech thing, and then I'll go.
Sure. Though, Doctor, I think it is high time you learn to prioritize between work and personal research. Thank you for taking part in the aptitude test. I know it is not pleasant. My name is Johannes von Schicksal. I'm the director of the Far East branch, reporting directly to Fenrir. Once again, congratulations on your acceptance. I know you shall do great things in your time here.
Don't let the speechifying fool you. He's an ex-tech guy. No doubt the new type medical exam is calling to him.
A tech guy? Do keep in mind that I hung up my lab coat because we have you now, Doctor.
Once a scientist, always a scientist, Johannes.
Perhaps. In any case, if I may return to my speechifying. The Fenrir Corporation has many goals, of which you are now a critical part. Your direct duties, while crucial, are rather simple. You guys must hunt down and destroy our Aragon and gather their materials. These materials are then converted into resources. They help maintain these things and supply the upcoming Aegis project.
There's no way they be right.
The Aegis project will defend humanity in our world. Our fortresses, integrated into our army, located near the distance from the sea. Once my base project is complete, humanity will be able to live in peace, free from these monsters. The future of humanity is in your hands. You will do us proud. And on that note, I shall place you in the doctor's hands and take my leave. Paler, be sure to send them the results.
I believe we're ready to begin. Go ahead and lie down on the bed just there. As the exam begins, you will feel a bit drowsy. I assure you there's nothing to worry about. When you awaken, you'll be in your quarters. It's a, cat nap, so to speak. Shouldn't be more than a few hours. 10,800 seconds at most. Sleep well.
So yeah, that is the whole job of the God Eaters, is to defend the people of Fenrir from the Aragami, and to help build this utopia that Johannes wants us to help to create. So, tell me what you guys think of this so far, if it seems interesting. You can access the archive from the terminal in your room, allowing you to watch movies and listen to music. Yeah. So this is our room. Nothing special. You really can't do anything here except for the terminal. So, yeah. Let's just leave. So yeah, we're in the rookies section. Here's Shun. I was never a big fan of him. He was real jackass at times. What a puny reward. Rations are getting worse too. Hey, you're new. Or you're one of those rookies. God Eaters may get better pay, but it's not nearly enough to cover risking your life. Listen, just do enough not to get killed. Without your life, you're nothing. I mean, yeah, it's good. It's good advice, but I mean, you could be less of a dick about it. So yeah. I see you're done with your checkup. Fine. Fine then. I'll have you take on a mission right away. Next to you is Hibari Takeda. She runs the God-Eating mission's information processing. Speak to her in order to receive an order for a mission. After that, use the terminal up these stairs to select your loadout. Got that? Understood. Very well. I'll be hearing from you later. So yeah. So you're done with the medical checkup. Again, I'm Hibari Takeda, and I oversee mission orders. Now then, let me explain to you about the mission workflow. First, you receive an order for a mission. Then, based on enemy intelligence, you can change your weapons upstairs at the terminal. You then launch the mission by giving approval at the den gate over at the far end upstairs. Do you follow me? Understood. Oh, that's good. I may cause you some inconvenience at times, but I do look forward to working with you. Before you set out, go upstairs and head for the den gate at the end of the hall. There are two types of missions: story missions and free story missions that advance the plot, and free missions. You can only carry 8. You may take up to 8 of the consumable stun grenade per mission. Reason being, they want to limit you from just keep spamming stun grenades over and over again. Surplus stun grenades will automatically be sent to storage. During multiplayer, stun grenades carrying limits per player fluctuates depending on the number of players, so you want to be careful of how many you have at a time. So yeah, you got your standard missions, urgents, and extras. Extra missions we won't be able to do for quite a while. Urgent missions will pop up every now and again in the future. But for right now, we can only do standard mission difficulty 1. We got 3 different missions. We got tutorial 1, tutorial 2, and then the main story. What we're going to do is we're going to do the tutorial 1. Just so you guys can get a sense for how the game works. After receiving a mission from the operator, prepare yourself at the terminal before pressing the enter button at the den gate to begin. You can also view info on your mission if you've accepted through the menu by pressing escape button. So yeah, let's go up and head out the den gate.
The first rule of combat is this: knowledge of one's surroundings is the line between life and death. Take a look around. Excellent. Now focus straight ahead once more. Second rule of combat: keep moving. Here's a primer on the most effective forms of traversal in the field. There are 2 platforms in the training area. Go ahead and climb atop them. High ground is an advantage that can't be denied, both in scouting and actual combat scenarios. Always be sure to keep one eye on your stamina. If you lose your breath out there, it may cost more than your pride. Why don't you go for a quick run? Get that heart rate up.
As you can see, all this is pretty standard. Come on.
Alright,
There we go.
warm-up. Now, on to the basics of combat training. The weapon in your hand is called a God Arc, the only tool that can slay Aragami, bound to you for life. We've just released some Aragami mock-ups into the training chamber. Strike them down. Your God Arc is a versatile weapon. On a whim, it can transform from a blade into gun form for ranged attacks. Transfer now to gun form, and let loose a few rounds against the Aragami. It is critical to note that ranged attacks consume a measure of oracle power. You'll have to monitor that as well.
Eat this!
Now, take the lessons I've taught you and defeat the Aragami with a combination of tactics.
Hell yeah! That went pretty well.
Here is what the thing meant about origami bullets. I just did a devour move on that origami, and now I'm going to use a bullet made from its core.
Bullets. Eat this.
Did you get all that down? Excellent. That will be all for today's basic training. You are dismissed.
There we go. I have accomplished training 1. And if you want to return to the base earlier, you can just press return to base. So yeah, you will get a every mission you do will award you with GAP. GAP is spent on personal abilities for members who will join you in the future. GAP is earned the first time a mission is cleared and rarely when clearing an urgent mission. Materials and consumable items collected on a mission are automatically sent to storage and can be accessed through the terminal. As you can see here, for a training, we obviously got SSS plus because we're good like that. So yeah. The gameplay isn't that hard to understand. It's more of the keeping yourself alive. So keeping yourself alive and not losing all of your lives, because you do only get a set amount of lives, and every time you go down, you will lose 5 of your staminas. 5 of your endurance to keep fighting. And once you lose all 50 endurance, you then lose the mission and will have to start over. And unfortunately, since we didn't do the story mission, we have to go through this again. And for the sake of it, I'm going to do tutorial 2, not 1, tutorial 2, and we will continue with the story mission in the next episode. So, let's get going.
Let's begin with a review, shall we? Make sure you were paying attention in the last session. Slay the enemy. Be aware they are tougher than what you're used to, and will require some advanced tactics. Stay sharp. When there's no hope of avoiding an attack entirely, open your shield to absorb the brunt of the assault.
Up and away. That went pretty well.
You should never be afraid to heal. Keeping yourself in fighting trim is the only way to survive.
So yeah, if you press tab, it'll bring you up to this menu, and this is where you are able to use your healing items and your other items you are able to get. What I'm doing here is, you will find glowing items. You will find glowing items every once in a while. Whoops. So, don't worry. You will, if you can't find an item, most likely you will be able to find it eventually.
Your God Arc has another special trait that you should make good use of in the field. Devour form. This allows you to take Oracle energy directly from the enemies you face in the wild. By siphoning this Oracle, you can temporarily increase your own strength, even to unheard of levels. Wait for an opening to present itself, and then strike with Devour form. From there, enter Burst mode, and finish the beast. Eat this! Eat this! Hell yeah! If you devour an origami you've already slain, you can collect all sorts of materials from its core. These materials are critical to advancing our research, as well as earning enhancements to your God Arc itself. Here's our chance. Alternatively,
This is what your God Arc looks like also.
During battle. Just to prove you can do it, please go around and pick up the ones we've littered about the training area. Training will conclude in 20 seconds.
So yeah, as you can see, there was the glowing points around. Those are items that you can only find on the ground. You can't find them off origami. So yeah, that is...
Very well. It seems you've passed boot camp simply enough. Next, you'll go up against the real thing. Fight well, God Eater.
So there we go. Now we have completed both the tutorial missions. So I think that'll be about it for this episode. Thank all you guys for watching. I'm having fun doing this. I can't wait to see what I'm able to post for other videos in the future. Right now it will be few videos at a time. But I feel like this is going to be a fun series to do with you guys. I also want to thank my friend Shadow for telling me about this game when he did, because I actually never knew about it when it came out. And I actually never knew about the anime, so he got me into that first. And I was so pumped to watch that and to see this. So yeah, I want to just thank you guys for tuning in for this episode. I'm Darth Z, and this is God Eater Resurrection.